prove them wrong. I go by the name Flamboyant Lifestyle, aka what? Mankind. And then the Flamboyant Lifestyle interview. Today I have a gentleman in the studio in which he's going to share his life story with us. The journey that he has passed through in life. I really know you really want to see this, my guest. So without not wasting my time, let's go for a quick break. When I come back, the guest introduce himself. Stick and stay. If you just tuned in, you are still watching the Flamboyant Lifestyle interview. And as I said earlier on, today we have a gentleman in the studio in which he's going to share his life journey with us. So without not wasting my time, let's have a real conversation with this gentleman. Yo, senior.
Yeah,
Welcome to the Flamboyant Lifestyle interview.
many thanks for having me.
Okay, so what's your name?
My birth name is Michael Eli Dogusi, also known as Mystic Mike, Black Pepper, or Rebel Soul.
Man of so many names.
Really.
Okay, so what do you do?
I'm a trained journalist. I'm an MC. I'm a voiceover artist. So these are few things that I do. I'm also the managing editor of a news website, blackpepper.com. Blackpepper.com.
Okay, we have so many professions around the world. Why did you choose to become a journalist but not other professions?
Coming up, I think my earliest inclinations were to become an actor. I used to love HM film, hockey film, the adverts that involved McJordan Amati, the late. I loved how he rattled the English language and how he went about his business together with Grace Omago, Mamino and Grace Naughty. I loved it very much, and sometimes I'll mimic the advert, the film jingles. And so initially, I had thought I would be an actor, and indeed, I have gone for a few auditions, including on the set of Prince of Life that aired on TV3 some time ago. But our parts did not come on the television series before the series, went off air. So since that didn't come to fruition, I focused on other strengths. Even though I had gone to school and did accountancy, I realized I didn't love mathematics that much. And so, upon the advice of one of the lecturers who said, Mike, you have the flair, you speak well, you write well, why don't you consider journalism? So it was on the advice that I entered the African Institute of Journalism and Communications, AIJC, Oduyanke School, which has become AUCC. I trained as a journalist over there, and I went for my internship at Radio Gold. This is in 2008. But prior to that, I had done my BBS at Trans Africa College. I had schooled at Radio School of Business, where I did the accountancy. So when I concluded my course at AIJC and did my internship at Radio Gold, I went to Sifri Akotombra, the health post or clinic at Sifri Akotombra, and did my national service over there. Upon return, I joined Choice FM, and Abu Ramadan, who is the deputy NADMO coordinator, was my supervisor at Choice FM. From Choice FM, I went to XFM. From XFM, I think I went to Kentika FM in Abuna Swedro. I had schooled in Swedro, and so with the Kentika opportunity, I returned to Swedro once again. And then when I came back from Kentika, at Kentika, I was the business news reader, and also I was part of the entertainment show panel. I also hosted an entertainment segment on the morning show at Kentika. Back in Accra, I joined Pure Life water company at Magapi as a marketer. But curiously enough, as a marketer, I still joined to offload bags of water. And so you see me helping to pack 350, 450 bags on a pallet of clients. We did all of those. We took the water far. I recall we took Pure Life to Dansoma, to industrial area, to Otoko, Sakama, various parts. And in Agape here, those who were my clients know this. I had so much clientele in Agape, almost on the routes from the Pure Life factory to station to down and then back to Pentecost Junction and to the various towns of Lekuma. We did a good job with Pure Life. And it's one of my proudest moments serving as a marketer. Eventually, the owner of Pure Life opened Capital TV. And so, as a trained journalist, I had to move to Capital at Lakedeokoshi. And I was deputy editor there. We did some good work. The Capital TV news package. I had gone to meet Senna Atoklu, formerly of Multimedia. I think he was the editor, and then Tutu was the deputy there. Eventually, Senna Atoklu left, and then Tutu became the editor, and I became the deputy. We did some brilliant work, and many people gave us positive feedback. Went to town, went to parliament, interviewed parliamentarians, went to the markets, spoke with market women. Very interesting time it was, but as with life, we had to move on. And so from Kentinka, from Capital TV, Ghana Web came calling. I have to thank Nia Kwe, who is now, I think, the editor of Ghana Web now. He was then, a news writer or an editor as well as Ghana Web. He was my colleague at AIJC. So when the opening came at Ghana Web, he called that I should come over. So I left Capital and joined Ghana Web. I think this would be in 2014. So I went to Ghana Web as an editor. I did some beautiful work there. Eventually I had to move again from Ghana Web. So I moved from Ghana Web. And then PrimeNewsGhana.com came calling, owned by Magbena Samoa. And then his right-hand man was Francis. It was Francis who got in touch. And I might say that Prime News was one of the beautiful periods.
Okay.
Yeah.
Prime News was a beautiful period. Okay, you said a lot in your journalism journey, and that is very inspiring because I learned something in it that you didn't give up. You are still pursuing going on. Okay, so let's shift the conversation small. Okay, where were you born?
I was born at the Mamprobi Polyclinic, I think. Yeah, Mamprobi Polyclinic here in Accra.
Yeah.
Here in Accra, Mamprobi. Yeah, so.
Okay, that's the place you were born. Okay, so you grew up over there.
I grew up at Balmain. My grandfather, Emmanuel Gadube, owned a big housing complex at Balmain. I think he had about 15 tenants, even in the 90s. So that's why I grew up with my mom and my dad. And eventually we moved from Balmain to Zamamalai. From Zamamalai, we moved to Soko or Bridge.
How was life like growing up in Mamprobi?
Well, when you are in the moment, when you are living it, you wouldn't realize its significance till you grow, you mature, or you are out of that environment. Then when looking back, you're like, wow, these were interesting times. As I said, my early years were spent around Mamprobi, Bananain, Mambu Park, Soko, Abolo Bridge, Mansoman, CDCB, Fly 5, Chukura, Sempe, Mamprobi, and all these places.
Okay.
So I schooled at the Salvation Park.
Okay. So let's get it this way. All those places that you were mentioning, there are places that is very, the society over there, the living over there is very hard, and all social vices are there. So those lives that are there, that social vices, did it impacted your life?
Well, the thing is, um, as a youth or as someone coming up, it is important to have training, to have guidance. I have my old lady to thank for her guidance. But my dad used to divide his time between our locality and then Abiligwe. So he was away for quite a bit. But my mom, very solid woman, very capable hands. She'll give you a beating of your life if you went wrong against her wishes. And then she would feed you well. She would help you do your homework. She would impress it upon you to be guided, not to be led astray. And I have her to thank for my measured life that I've lived because I've always been very careful. Yes, you can make mistakes, but never a fatal mistake. And it's been my principle, it's been my guiding principle that as growing up, be careful you don't kill anyone because of dire consequences. Be careful you don't impregnate anyone because it's going to live with you for the rest of your life. Be careful you don't go raping anybody's daughter because that can cost you your freedom. Be mindful of the company you keep because if you dabble in drugs, you can lose your mind and lose your sanity. So I've been very guarded. I've lived my life very measured, and I have my parents, but especially my old lady, and then mentors that I came across during my journey as well. I'm a Pan Africanist, and so I would have to thank the likes of Nkrumah, the likes of Dr. Henry Clark, the likes of Dr. Johanum, people whose works I came into contact with. And it made me grounded. I realized that life has so much to give. You don't have to limit in the trivialities. Think big. Look at the achievements of these great people and also try and become the best that you can be.
Okay, so become the best that you can be. How many siblings do you have?
I have two, an elder sister and a younger sister.
Okay, did you all grow up with you in those neighborhoods that you mentioned?
My elder sister is from another mother. So she spent some time briefly with us at Soko. But it's my little sister that I spent the bulk of my life with from all these places as of when she came along.
Okay, that means your father had a child before
Yeah.
meeting your mom. Okay. Did you ask your dad the reason why he divorced the other woman and came for your mom? Your mother?
They weren't married. They were not married, and from the submissions, I understand that he was with my mom, and was also involved with the other woman, and the other woman had gotten pregnant before marrying my mom, as it were. But for a long time, we weren't in touch. That's my stepsister. But eventually, she found me on Facebook, and now we are in touch. And yeah, we check up on each other.
Okay, check up on each other. So let's move to this direction. Let's go to religion. Are you a Christian?
I'm not.
Why not a Christian?
I'm
Do
not.
you have any religion that you join yourself in?
There was once a time that I would have identified as a Christian, largely because of my mom's leaning on me. But since I became an adult and decided to chart my own path, I'm more of I'm not an atheist. I'm not a Christian either, but I lean more towards the traditional African spiritual system. So that would involve acknowledgement that there's a supreme divine, there's a force in the universe other than just mere mortals, and that there are interventions that happen to us. So there's that force around. So as I'm now, that's where I am at now.
Okay, you said earlier on that because of your mom, that's the main reason why you became a Christian. So why didn't you follow the Christianity lifestyle going to the traditional way? Why did you do that? Because Christianity is full of liberty. And we know that those people with poor libations are gods. That they should enable us to direct us to God. But if we rebel against us and they are not helping us, so why are you worshiping them?
Christianity is a teenage religion.
Why teenage religion?
And it is a religion, a weaponized religion.
To you,
the history of Christianity, and indeed the history of Islam, is a history of violence and a history of dominance. Islam got populated in Black Africa through jihad, through the physical force of subjecting people to it. It wasn't something that people freely identified with. So much so that out of the Ghana Empire, the Songhai Empire, the Mali Empire, of all these empires, the one empire that did not subscribe to Islam, the historical accounts paint that empire black. But when you look at the beginnings, there were animism. Animism is the initial faith system of many civilizations. And for most of our life as Africans, it is to animism that we committed ourselves to. Just as Islam used jihad to perpetuate its wish or its dominance over Black African now, it is the same with Christianity. Christianity is a byproduct of colonization. When they come saying that they want to enlighten the Black continent, the Black Africans. But these are people who are superior to you in existence, in civilization, and in any other facet of life. So you are coming to people who have had civilizations millennia, centuries before you became so-called enlightened. But then they had to use a justification. So what's the justification? They are pagans. We want to bring them to God. We want to bring them to Christianity. And then the Son of God. But in actual fact, the earlier religions, in referring to the Son that they claim is Jesus Christ, the earlier religions ascribe to that phenomenon as the Sun, S-U-N. So that's why you have the sun worship. Many humans, millions of humans worship the sun as a god, including the ancient Egyptians, who call themselves the Kemet people.
Okay, you worship the sun. Do you understand? Because when we talk about sun, we know that if your father begat you, you are a son. But to your explanation and to your referral to historical facts, you are saying we are worshiping the Son of God to you. Okay, so do you believe in heaven and hell?
When you came to this earth, did you know where you came from? You were not conscious of where you were coming from.
So what do you think when we die? Where do we go?
It is the same with dying. When you cease to have your physical attributes here, you have no idea where you are headed. You don't have any clue. Just as you came on earth, you have no clue. See, when a baby is birthed, it is completely dependent on those around it for its upkeep, its feeding, his intake of liquids, his cleaning, his everything. You are oblivious of what is happening around you. It's the same when you also pass out of this place. You have no clue. What I would say to you and to the listeners is that live in harmony with your fellow human and then with the environment. If you're able to live in harmony with your fellow man and then the environment, you would have done yourself, you would have done a service to humanity. You will not be in conflict with other people and you will not be in conflict with the environment. Do not concern yourself with heaven and earth because it is based on opinions. It is subjective to people's understanding of what it is.
Okay. It's subjected to people's understanding. Okay, let me ask you a question. You know that we were created by God. Do you believe in that?
What God are you referring to? Is it a bearded human being with beards flowing? What God?
We're talking about the supreme God.
What is
The
your
God who created heaven and earth, and also the God who created mankind.
What's the definition of that God?
That's what I'm saying. God, the God that we all know that He created the sea, He created heaven and earth, He created animals, plants, all those things. That God I'm referring to.
Where was He when the world was coming up? Well, as according to your Bible, was spoken into existence. What was this person?
Okay, let me just justify this. You said you are not an atheist, and the question you are asking is referring that you are an atheist. Let me ask you a question. Do you know that we were being created by God, or you don't know?
The question I've asked you, not answered it. You are referring to a God entity. And I'm asking you that where did He come from?
Okay. According to the Bible, He's a supreme being, and it's an energy that can be everywhere that He is. And when He was creating the world, heaven and earth, He was outside heaven and earth creating it because of the supernatural power.
Where is the source of that?
The source of it, we don't know where He came from and where He existed. It's a force that He existed on its own. And He has been known that He created all things that we are seeing and things that we've not seen. He did all those things because of His supernatural power that He's having and the energy that is closer to Him. So He made all things to be existing. So are you cool now?
So there's someone who defies the creation story. He is there before all of these things. And that's why I'm telling you that is subjective. That is someone's understanding of.
Okay. Do you believe in dreams?
I don't dream.
You don't dream? No? Every human being dreams.
What was the basis for that?
Oh, the basis for that is people see themselves in the dream doing this or that, or they see certain things.
Okay, so that's
so do
what you are asking is, where do I see myself in the foreseeable future?
Yeah,
that's a better way than dreaming. But if you're dreaming, there are people who sleep and they don't dream; they wake and they go. So if you are asking where I see myself in the foreseeable future, I'd love to have opportunities out of my gifts. As I indicated, I'm an MC, I'm a voiceover artist, I'm a journalist, I'm an editor, I'm a news platform owner. What I hope for is that of all these gifts and attributes, I would be able to get opportunities to be productive and then to also make earning.
Okay.
Make a living out of this.
Okay, you said it would be productive and make an earning of living. Okay, I go by the name Flamboyant Lifestyle, and the conversation is getting interesting and what? Interesting. So without not wasting my time, we are going for a quick break. When we come back, the conversation continues. Stick and stay. You are still watching the Flamboyant Lifestyle interview, and as I said earlier on, it's getting interesting and interesting. The gentleman I said earlier on is what is bombarding us. I don't know whether he's an atheist. I don't know whether he believes in God. I don't know that he doesn't believe in anything. Yeah. So I know that he's getting into it. So without not wasting my time, let's continue with the conversation. Let's go. Okay. Senior, we are back. Okay. So are you married?
I'm not married.
And how old are you, if I may ask?
I think I'm marching towards 40.
40. So why are you not married at this age?
Marriage must be seen as an economic decision.
Economic decision.
What does it mean? It is not just emotional, and it is not just only fleeting infatuation. If you marry and bring someone's daughter under your care, you must have the resources to be able to feed it, to be able to take care of medical emergencies, to be able to pay even if she goes to death. If there's an operation to be done, you should be able to fund it. If you have reserves to take care of your child, medical, feeding, pampers, schooling, and all that. I'm on the way, but I'm building up my reserves. That's one. But more crucially, I've not met a reasonable woman who suits me. If I were to meet a reasonable woman who suits me, and even the reserves are not where I want them to be, I could be married. I would have loved to marry, but crucially, I've not met such a woman yet.
Okay, so what are the qualities to find a woman that this woman is a woman that I can spend the rest of my life with? What qualities do you look out for?
She must be reasonable. Someone you can sit and analyze things with. It is not someone who is mindless. You must be reasonable. And you must advance your case. And I must advance my own. And based on the strength of the submissions, we come to a compromise. And if one party has to step down and apologize or concede that I didn't get it right, then you do so. So I need such a woman, first of all. But life is not only about, analytics. I also would love to have a sexy woman who I'll be grateful for to wake and see her lying by me. So someone I will desire continuously. She should have a peculiar skill set, someone who can put together various dishes. And it would be nice to have someone who is caring and generous as well.
Okay, so you have parents. Are you not being pressured to be married?
My dad is late.
Your dad is late.
My mom is around. Of course, she would desire that I get married. And, I've started bearing kids, but I've made her understand that these are the reasons why I'm unmarried and I don't have kids yet. And she does not agree to it, but what can she do?
She can't do anything unless you yourself give him
Yes.
Okay, so we are wrapping up this one, the interview, because it has been a wonderful and interesting conversation that we had earlier on. So if you are given one opportunity in life to change the world, what will you do?
To change the world. Well, I would love to have the power to take out illness. See, when you have a close or a loved one who is afflicted by illness, and you see them emaciate from where they were, what they become, it's quite disheartening. So I would have loved to have the power to take away illness and also impoverishment, poverty. At least everyone deserves to be able to have something to eat. And so the situation where people can go days without having food to eat is something that troubles me a lot.
Okay, it's something that troubles you a lot. Okay, so without not wasting our time, I want you to give us your few words because I'll be seeing you time and time. You come to the show. So give us your few words, advise the youth, advise unmarried men who are yet to be married, and advise the ladies also. So look into the lens of the camera.
Well,
that's fine.
I will take opportunity to let people know that they can log on to my website, www.blackpepper.com. The black pepper is BLAKK, not CK, BLAKK, PEPPER.com. On social media, you can contact me at blackpepper.com on Facebook, and also Mystic Mike, MYSTICMIK. On Twitter is Mystic Mike, but the spelling is MYSTIQMIKE. And then on Instagram is blackpepper.com as well. For Christians, let me take this opportunity to run it up with the religion. For Christians, you can decide to be a Christian. That is a decision that an adult has the right to make. People become Christians based on the company. They are lonesome, they need company. And I've heard many say that when they die, so that they can have an entity organize their funerals for them. Some have other reasons. That's entirely up to you. But I'm just saying that the admonition or the crusade that it is only through Christianity that we can attain heaven is what I find particularly troublesome. And you must sit and ask yourself that what then happens to all the humans who preceded you before the emergence of Christianity? What then happens to all of those? Think about these things. And as an African, never shed your heritage. There are creationist stories from the Ewe, from the Ga, from the Asante, from the Fanti, from the Buans, from the Dagari, the Dagama, the Fafra, the Sisala. Creation story is not Adam and Eve. Go and ask your people what is their creation story, and they will give you a version from your own people. Many thanks for having me. To meet again.
Okay, many thanks for having him. That's what he said. I go by the name Flamboyant Lifestyle, aka what? Mankind. That's my name. I love mentioning my name because I love what? Myself. Yeah, many thanks for watching this interview. And please, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It's Flamboyant Lifestyle. Yeah, that's the name. Subscribe, and then other people also want to subscribe. Don't be selfish. Share this video. Yeah, share it. I know you do it. Share it. And also many thanks to my crew who made it possible for this interview to be commenced. Shout out to Richard, and also shout out to Ebenezer. That's my only brother. God richly bless you for watching. Bye bye.